So if you're like me and you like to do some vlogging with a full frame camera, like the Sony ZV-E1, one of the biggest challenges of that is getting good stabilized footage. This camera is full frame, so it can shoot absolutely incredible footage. But when you're vlogging, you don't want to bring along a lot of equipment. Generally, you're going to want as little equipment as possible. So you generally don't want one of those gimbals that's required to stabilize this, because those gimbals are quite large and heavy, and they are not discreet at all. But the trade-off usually is footage that's very shaky, and it kind of distracts from what you're doing. So in this video, I'm going to provide you with a solution that Sony has provided for getting great-looking stabilized footage handheld with no gimbal required. And the only trade-off with this mode is you're going to get a little bit of a crop. It's going to be about 1.3x. So you do want to have a wide enough angle lens when you're vlogging so that that crop doesn't impact your footage too much. I personally use the Sony 16 to 35 millimeter G Master lens, and anytime I'm using this mode, I have it set to 16 millimeters unless I really want that more telephoto look, in which case I'll have it set to 35. But if I'm holding this up and talking to the camera, I'm generally going to have it set to 16. And by the way, all the sample clips you're seeing in today's video were filmed with the Sony ZV-E1 and this lens, and all of them were filmed in the stabilization mode. So before we get into the stabilization mode, I'd like to tell you really quick about one of my focuses for the year 2025. That focus is on mental wealth. Mental wealth is all about proactively investing in good habits today that create resilience for future challenges. There are 5 key pillars to mental wealth. These include sleep, diet, exercise, stress management, and exogenous compounds. And to help support my focus on mental wealth, I've recently started using Magic Mind. And Magic Mind is the sponsor of today's video. For 24 hours of mental performance, I use the focus shots in the morning. For daytime clarity, a sharper mind, less stress, and clean energy. In the evening, I use the sleep shots before bed for falling asleep faster and resting deeper. And for the first time, Magic Mind is offering 24-hour packs. This pack includes both the focus shots and the sleep shots, bundled together at a 45% exclusive discount using my link in the description below. So let's talk about this mode on the Sony ZV-E1. And first of all, I'm going to show you how to set this mode. So in order to set the mode, we're going to power on the camera here. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to press the FN button, the function button. And when you press that, you're going to see this menu right here. And the menu you're going to want to toggle to this one right here near the middle on the top. It's the third one over from the right. It currently says off, but then it says steady shot. This is going to be our stabilization settings. So you're going to click the button to select that. And you're going to see 4 different modes here. There's off, there's steady shot, there's active, and there's dynamic active. As you can see, when I toggle through those modes, you can see the crop change. The crop doesn't change much with standard. Crops in a little bit with active, and then it crops in more with dynamic active. Once you've selected dynamic active, you want to hit the button here to press OK. And now you're in dynamic active mode. Once you're in this mode, you can easily use this camera handheld. I like to use the small rig cage on here, but I've also used the Sony ZV-E1 like this with a handheld without this rig, and it works great that way as well. I brought the Sony ZV-E1 on many adventures, including climbing a fire tower, visiting the Bennington Battle Monument in Bennington, Vermont. Pretty cool little place. And I've also taken this into some very dark, low light situations, including hiking through an old train tunnel. All of those shots in there were also filmed handheld with the dynamic active stabilization setting. And it performs really well in low lighting as well, provided you have good low light settings keyed in, which by the way, if you're looking for those, check out the video above, where I talk about the best low light settings for the ZV-E1. That's all you have to do. Set the stabilization to dynamic active, and you're ready to vlog handheld in full frame with the Sony ZV-E1.